Good evening, good evening. Angel Snub Num 7 in the house. And once again, we're here with another uh, spontaneous live stream. I was contacted by a brother here and who had a few questions and wanted to go live. So we decided to grant him this request. And we're going to entertain a few questions from our brother. And before we get started, if you would like to introduce yourself, and if you want to tell people a little bit about yourself, you can do that. But just introduce yourself and tell why you want to come here and bring forth these questions to us. And then we're going to get this party started.
My man. Yeah, my name is William E. Bonnie. I'm a recording artist and an entrepreneur. I wrote many songs, hundreds of songs, recorded them as well, videos, all that. Love the entertainment business side of life. But all that kind of came to a pause for me. My brother got sick from brain cancer 5 years ago, and we put everything to a stop because we was focused on his health. My brother did pass away last year in June, and that altered and changed my life personally. It changed my view of a lot of things. Um, Not to get too deep, but we grew up religious. We grew up as Jehovah's Witnesses. We also had the Nation of Islam within our neighborhood, Chester, Pennsylvania. If anyone knows about Chester, PA, that's where I grew up at. So it's a black city. I'll put it that way. Um, but my brother did pass away last year, and that changed my view of life and my relationship with who I believe I would call God or Jehovah. Um, through that loss of my brother, I found myself spiraling out of control mentally because I could not grasp the fact that my brother was not saved by God. I'll put it that way. In my reality, you know, he every prayer he prayed felt like it was denied because of the result, the way he passed away so quickly with this cancer. But throughout that process, I was losing it. I came across this channel of Angel Snuff Up 7, and I came across it from a different view. I was just researching things about Farrakhan, and
Mm-hmm.
I just happened to stumble across something that you had dropped about a year ago. But throughout that process of listening to you speak, I was hearing something completely different. It was a side of life or a view of life that I never heard before come from a human being within my time period of living. And I was like, man, first of all, I was thought you was very bold to question God. I think when you was talking about God is on trial, that's when I came across you. When I saw that question, God is on trial, I was like, wow, who is bold enough to put God on trial? I thought that was amazing. So I just dove in deeper into Angel Snuff Nuff Seven's work, man, and it has saved me. I put it that way, and it has revived me and put me back in position that I'm supposed to be in within my own personal life. So I was watching Angel Snuff Nuff Seven's live today about religion being child abuse, and I was just thinking to myself, wow, that's deep. That's deep because I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness my whole life, and me and my brother we was dependent on Jehovah to save him, from cancer or at least give my brother a little bit more time to live. He passed away at 32 years old,
Mm.
so that was kind
Sorry
of
to hear
hard.
that, brother.
Absolutely. So my question to Angel is, where do we go from here? I was thinking like, man, we gave it our all with this religion, man. Like
Yes.
we gave it our heart, mind, and soul. Like you said, we was born into it, so we wasn't like brainwashed into a cult. We was just born into it, so we took it very serious because
Yes.
our surroundings around us supported that, those thought processes, you know. And as now I'm getting older, and my dad and mom is getting older,
Yes.
and I'm like, wow, there's no return of the Most High. My brother passed away. Me and my wife, we're getting older as we speak, and it's like, man, what do I do now if there's really no return of Jesus Christ? What do I do now if there's no resurrection of my brother? Give me one second, Angel. I got someone knocking on my door.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry about the delay. Sorry, guys.
It's all right.
But yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you, Angel. Like, where do we go from here? As far as like, how do we live our life as a productive human being? You know, without the hope of, you know, what we was taught as far as like a new heaven and a new earth, or a resurrection of the dead, or just any type of saving that the Word of God was giving us. You know, how do we, or what do we do now? You know. Because I don't want to go into a sane asylum like what happened to Elijah Muhammad and those
Yes,
followers.
sir.
You know, I don't want to go. I don't want to go through that. I don't want to torture my family. You know, with me not being sane because I can't comprehend this reality that I'm in now. So that's all I really want to ask you.
Well, first of all, again, from this platform, we send condolences for your loss, and we have talked, you know, many times prior to this broadcast, and so we send condolences for your loss. In fact, we have a set. You are a twin. Also, we have, as part of our support on this platform, we have another set of twins. I'm pretty sure you know about the Deacons of Reality, our twin brothers. And I'm thinking that's amazing that I would have brothers, two sets of twin brothers that listen to this broadcast, to this ministry. I don't know. Back in the day, we could sign some stuff up and try to make some type of prophecy. you know how they do it, and we do it in church. We be looking at
Right.
stuff because we coming from this religious view. It's some kind of special sign or something. We do
Right.
that. But I just thought that it's you know, it's unique that I would have two sets of twins like that, yourself and the Deacons of Reality. Your question reminds me when I was a Muslim and I used to go to church, and I still was a Muslim, and I would go back and forth to these churches, and I must say that Islam is a little bit more better for us than Christianity, just a little taste, because it at least makes us aware of the racism that we face. It does that. And it also, the Islam as taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, it took us out of, you know, the spirits and spooks and fairy tales and things.
Right.
But what we did not understand and did not recognize, actually, the Nation of Islam had its own brand of fairy tales, you know, spook stuff. You know, waiting on a spaceship to come save you. This mysterious half-breed white man is God. You know, it has its own brand of fairy tale teachings too.
Right.
I would go back and forth to the church after I left the Nation of Islam. Well, actually, I still was a part of the Nation of Islam, but I started to spend more time in church because I felt empty, not doing anything at all. So I started going back to church for a little while. And the church people, the brothers and sisters, Christians, actually treat me better than I would be treated in the mosque. They would be so happy to see, here go brother, because you know in the church they go by your first name. I mean your last name. Here go brother Ray, brother Ray. They would be so happy because I would, even though my questions would be annoying, they actually like me to come and challenge their belief system because I brought something different and brought some excitement to their boring Sunday school classes. And it got to the point where an older sister approached me And she told me, she said, I understand what you're talking about, but just like you're bringing the same question to me tonight, she said, well, what do I do? What do I believe in? That's what she asked me. And this is from a sincere person. You can see her, the tears, swell in her eyes, because she understands that what I'm saying, I'm making very good points, but at the same time, what do I do? I've been doing this all my life. I had to ask myself the question when I began to realize that what I was taught from the church, what I was taught from Islam, it was not appropriate or correct teachings, that it was filled with flaws. And this is why we're not progressing, because it's not appropriate knowledge. And I've said this many times on our broadcast before. You can use the handle of a screwdriver to hammer nails, but that's not the appropriate tool. You want to hammer nails, you grab a hammer. You don't use a screwdriver. I have used the handle of a screwdriver to try to nail stuff. It can work to a certain point, but it's nothing like having a hammer, having the appropriate tools for the job. We suffer in this country because we're not using the appropriate tools for the job. In fact, many of us don't really even understand the situation that we're in. We know that we're suffering. We know that we're descendants of slaves. We know about Jim Crow. We buy all these books and we read or whatever. And when it's all said and done, when the flame starts to settle or the dust starts to settle, we really don't know what we're facing and we don't understand the situation. You have to have appropriate knowledge. So your question is, what do we do? The first thing that I had to learn how to accept is that what I was taught was wrong. We have to accept the fact that what we was taught was wrong. If you cannot accept that, you're going to have problems. Simple as that. I had to understand that. It's a hurtful thing. In fact, the live stream that we had, the channel you was watching, this on our other channel, the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry, you was watching Angel Snubbing Up 7. I'm uploading now on Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. But we was live yesterday, and we talked about this yesterday, and we have to change. We have to accept that what we was taught was wrong. It is not. This is not to say that a lot of the things that we was taught was not factual. I quote from the Bible. I quote from the Quran. I might quote from different books that I read. But it does not take away from the fact that overall, what we have been taught, the mindset that we have been given, is not appropriate in order for us to solve the situation that we're in. If that was the case, there would be no need for Angel Snubbing Up 7. I would not be here. The reason why I exist, the reason why I'm here, and it's not only myself, we will eventually find each other. The reason why I exist, and many other brothers and sisters are snapping out of the matrix, the matrix, the full matrix, which includes blackity black stuff. We think that this pro-black, pan-African, black first, blackity, we think that's snapping us out of the matrix when that is part of the matrix. If it was not for the matrix, the pro-blackness and all that stuff would not even exist. It's part of it. So how are you going to use something that was born from the matrix to get out of the matrix? No, what it has done is make you more comfortable in the matrix, and that's why you are stuck in the matrix and you can't get out of the matrix. It makes you comfortable in your oppression as long as you can scream black power, as long as you can scream RBG Nation or whatever it is that we love to scream. It's still nothing but good old church feel good rhetoric. So the first thing that I suggest to us, we must let go of the things of the past and start all over again from scratch in our mind. If you're not willing to do that, then just be comfortable in the matrix, because that's where you belong. That's why you're not going nowhere. This is the place for you to be. You are part of the old system. You are part of the old team, and you need to be here with the old. Even the Bible says that the God, I shall create a new heaven and a new earth, and the former things shall pass away. Blackity black is part of the former things. The church is part of the former thing. What is a former thing? A former thing is something that got to be old. So if it's old, that's the former thing. The Model T is in a museum or whatever. You don't see it no more. It's part of the past. It's part of the former things. Even though we can drive a Model T if we want to. I don't think a lot of us would want a Model T right now, because Model Ts can't go that fast and whatever. You really wouldn't want a Model T. It don't have air conditioning, don't have heat. A lot of those Model Ts didn't even have windshield wipers. And you don't want a Model. You don't want the past. It's good to know about the Model T, and it'd be nice to drive a Model T for the fun of it, but that's the past. We have to get with the time. One of the favorite themes of the Nation of Islam is the time and what must be done. We're living in the time and what we should have been done, not what must be done. We should know what to do, and it should have been done. But we're still, what do I do? What do I do? Because we have not accepted appropriate knowledge. The reason why I'm able to talk to you, brother, right now is because of appropriate knowledge. When I first was locked up in incarceration, I was talking all that religious stuff and God gonna destroy y'all.
Right.
I know they was looking at me crazy. I was telling them, y'all, the white people is the devil, and you the children of Adolf Hitler, and God gonna do this to you because you.
Yeah.
They was looking at me. Okay.
You're not alone in that, man. You're definitely not alone. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Like when you was talking about the number 9 and how you was used to count 9 women, and the 9th one should have been a girl, and the 9th street. I thought that was just so hilarious to even be honest on that level, because like you said, a lot of people won't even reveal that type of truth about what's mentally going on within their mind with these things, and I thought that was just so hilarious because I can relate to it. I'm like, wow, wow. And I'm 37, I'm almost half your age. So it's like, man, something, man. This religion thing has done a number on us. And
yes, it has. Yes,
I feel the effects of it, man, in my life. And it's like, I can't even, I have grandchildren, and I have not taught them religion yet. I got a grandchild that's 5 years old, and we do pray, but I don't necessarily say Jesus' name or anything. I just allow her to know to be thankful for these things,
Yes.
But I refuse to teach her these things. I don't want her to go through this mental depression and stress that I went through. I just want her to be a natural human being, and hopefully she becomes great, in life, because she sees things in a natural, in a reality type of way, So yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you, and I thank you because like I said, when my brother passed, I was supposed to mentally fall. It was people around me, like they saw a change in me. They was like rooting that it was the end of my mind. It was no more William Bonney. His brother's gone. He always preached about religion. God clearly didn't come through for him. I know he's embarrassed. You understand what I'm saying? It's people around me that I'll tell you this. My brother's wife, before he left, she was like, for you guys to be so religious, a lot of bad things happen to y'all. She was being sarcastic, and I didn't even respond back to her. It just hit me in my heart because I couldn't say nothing. I was like, wow. I just felt alone. At that moment, I felt like I was abandoned by what I would call God. I was like, wow.
Yes.
I was like, how would you allow a human being to ask me that question or say that type of statement while my brother is passing away? And she's questioning me and my brother, allegiance to God, and we're in this condition, So
Yes.
yeah, I just want to thank you, man, and yeah, I'm listening. I'm listening, my brother. Definitely listening.
Yeah. You're welcome. I mean, yesterday we talked about this a little bit yesterday on the live stream too. I mean, I feel so stupid now, but at the time, I thought I was in the groove. Okay, like I was talking about. Yeah, I'm gonna meet my wife. This is the 9th building. I'm on 9th Street. This is the 9th block.
Yeah.
Ooh. I'm 9 years older than her or 9 years younger than her. All this stuff going through your head when you got all this when you're indoctrinated with these teachings. And it's embarrassing. It's a hurtful thing. People won't admit it. It's embarrassing when you think about it. Because you've been indoctrinated. Like we said, we was born in this. This is a part of our life. And it's going to be part of my life to the day I die. It's part of me. I wish that I had not been influenced or this had been given to me. I wish, but at the same time, I would not be who I am. And I think who I am and what I become today is very important. But if I did not have this background, then a lot of people couldn't relate because I wouldn't have the background of Islam. I would not have the background of religion. But people know where I come from, and I talk from a position where we all come from. I was pro-black. I understand what that is. I was Pan-African. People talk to me like they telling me something new. I know about that. I've been Pan-African. I've been pro-black for over 40 years. I know what that's about. I know what these things are about. I know about Jesus Christ coming back from the dead. I know about the spaceships, the mother plane.
Right.
And I have the basic knowledge of a whole lot of, I know the basic knowledge, the teachings of the Hebrew Israelites and a whole lot of these other different things. I've been around this for over 40 years. I understand that.
So not to jump in, but
go ahead, bro.
I feel the same way with myself. Like I can tell you all the tribes of Israel by heart.
Yeah.
I know about the mother plane and Yaqub and the grafting and all the all the stuff. But it's like this is where I'm at now. If it's not true, then it's made up.
Exactly.
So now we have an issue, and I take this personal, So it's like now I'm in a position now. Who's doing this? Who's behind this? Who's in control of this narrative or this storyline, and who's just pushing it out nonstop, destroying our future? And like I spoke to you before, I was thinking about, man, where's the house of all this religion stuff? Where's it located? Where does it sit? Where does it, flourish from? And I know it's located in a certain part of this earth, And I noticed that all religions sit at this one location, and then they stretch their arm out across the world, with this teaching of things. So if it's made up and it's fake, what are we going to do about that? Like, do we let that just continue on and do what it do, and hopefully time will, run that out, or let it continue? Like, I'm just that's just where I'm at now with it. Like, because if it's made up, that means all the holy temples, all the holy places, overseas and all these other places, all these monuments and all these, you know, great locations that these stories took place at, Mount Sinai, all these things. It's just made up.
Yes.
So, you know.
Well, I would tell you, I'm so happy. And when you become awakened, you never be the same again. And when you, a lot of people purposely, they want to be ignorant, because when you're ignorant, you can always use the excuse, I didn't know. That's why they want to remain ignorant. They stay away from reality's temple on earth. They stay away from people with our mindset because they don't want to know. Because once you begin to know, and even that was true even when we practice religion. Once you know, there's a responsibility on you to let others know. It's a responsibility to tell people about this truth. And so when I heard the teachings of Elijah Muhammad, even as a child, I felt as though it was my responsibility to let people know about this truth. And that's what I've done. Now, we are in a different time period, and I'm older now. I don't have the energy of a 20-year-old. I wish I did, but I just don't. And my health is not like it was when I was in my 20s. But at the same time, I feel as though I still have a responsibility to take this awakening that I've had and present it and challenge the fairy tales and the outrageous lies, the fantasy and the fiction. I have self-appointed myself this mission because people deserve to hear another side. They deserve that. If there was somebody like me I could have listened to when I was a child, it would have saved me a whole lot of grief. But there was nobody.
Right.
I am a blessing. I am a blessing. You are a blessing. Those who come here, we are blessings to the world. We are that 144,000 that the Bible talks about. We are the first of the anointed. We are the ones. And that's why we catch hell. I've had 100 channels taken down by YouTube. I've had 6 Facebook channels taken down. There's always somebody trying to destroy me. Somebody trying to, and the thing about it is that I only have 10 subscribers. I only get 10 views, they say. So why is it necessary for Google to take a personal interest in somebody with 10 subscribers and 10 views? Why is it that people take a personal interest? Nobody listening to you anyway. Well, if nobody listening to me, why do you think that it's necessary for you to destroy and mess with me all the time? Every time my channel gets a roll going and people start subscribing, the views start climbing. I'm not buying views. I'm not buying subscribers. My subscribers are real. I don't buy nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Even on Facebook, they come, they hear me say something or a post, and they come on their own. I'm not paying nobody to do nothing. So they come. But as soon as I get a momentum, YouTube find a reason to take down my channels. Facebook harass me all the time. Somebody with 10 views and 10 subscribers. There has to be a reason.
Yeah.
I challenge this knowledge. Now, I'm not going to challenge every Tom, Dick, and Harry. And I noticed the people that's supposed to be officially representing these ideologies and these beliefs, they don't bother me. They're not going to mess with me because they know they don't have nothing coming. I will challenge and debate sometimes a Tom, Dick, and a Harry, or a Tomisha or somebody now and then. They come here. I let them say whatever they want to say. Then we break them off and break all down to show them that they have flawed error. We never see them again. Because we have the truth here. The real truth. Not half a truth, not a piece of the truth, not the plain truth. We have the real truth. We are asking you to join reality, embrace reality. 2 years ago, I was facing surgery. And anytime you face surgery, and you are familiar with this because your brother was going through the same thing. He was sick. Matter of fact, I'm fighting cancer myself. And so the doctors was asking me, how do I feel? Because a lot of people, they fear death. They fear dying. Okay. And they were shocked. I said, whatever would be, would be. If the operation is successful, that's cool. If I die, I'm not tripping off of it. It is what it is. It's out of my hands. Why should I fear? There's nothing I can do about it. But see, fear is how these religions and even this pro-blackness stuff, they use fear in order to convert you. Well, if you don't believe in God, you're going to go to hell and you're going to hellfire. And even in the pro-blackness stuff, they tell you, well, when we come into power, we're going to kill all the coons and the Sambos. It's all about fear. Well, kill me then, bro. I don't want to be around you anyway. It's all fear-based crap. Now, we talk about things here, and it could be disastrous or whatever. But I don't tell you, well, if you don't listen to Angel Snuff, I mean, I'm just telling you the real. If I tell you, bro, you need to stop drinking because you could be in an accident. That's just the reality. Stop drinking and driving. You're going to mess around and kill somebody and yourself. I'm not trying to put fear in you. I'm telling you what the results is from drinking and driving. I'm telling us, if we don't take the appropriate action, we're going to face dire consequence. That has nothing to do with fear. It's the reality of it.
Yeah.
If the right thing in the world happened right now, we are so vulnerable. We have nothing. We have nothing. We can't protect ourselves. We can't do anything. We are vulnerable to all the other people in this country. We have nothing. This is why Mississippi campaign is so important, is because you can begin to try to control some of this land for yourself. So if something break off, well, we got ours. We got in control of this here. It can become a safe haven and a sanctuary for you right now, because you can't run to Africa. They talk all this Africa. You can't run to Africa. Hell, they running to us. They running to us. That don't make any sense to me. But going back to the original question here, what do we do? What do we do? The first thing that we need to do is admit that we were wrong. We were taught wrong. It's wrong. I don't care if it's the church. I don't care if it's Pan-Africanism. I don't care. There's something wrong in it. That's why we're not moving. That's why we're not being successful. That's why we're not progressing. That's why we're still living on the struggle of people 50 years ago instead of adding to the struggle. Selling DVDs on the corner is not adding to the struggle. Pretty speeches and making YouTube videos, that's not adding to the struggle. And right now, we're so far behind in this country. And we should applaud brothers that are creating businesses and building schools and buying farmland. And I heard some brothers and sisters, they bought their own little town. They got that's nice. We are so far behind. Those things don't help us as a people. They might help certain individuals, but those things don't help us as a people. We need something to get on board so we can be in competition with other people in this country. That's why it's important for Operation Exodus Mississippi campaign, so that we can put ourselves in a position so that we can be competitive with other people in this country. We are moving and progressing so slow right now that we have people from Afghanistan, from the Ukraine, from Venezuela, parts of South America, who are coming in now. Within the next few years, they are going to be above us, telling us what to do. We're going to be asking them for jobs. That should not, Black leadership, that's unacceptable. That's something that should not be tolerated. But we tolerate it because we want to hold on to the past. And they tell you about the Black Panthers. The Black Panthers is good. Nation of Islam, the UNIA is good. That's the past. Honor the past. Do your thizzy. Like James Brown said, it's time for us to get up and do our thing. They get angry at us here at the Reality Temple because we want to get up and do our thing. We give honor to those who came before us. But this is our time, brother Bonnie. This is our time.
Right.
And we do things our way. We respect our parents, our mother and our father. I can guarantee you, your household is nothing like your parents' household. Because you're doing your thing.
Right.
And when your parents come to your home, they better respect your thing. Because this is mine. I run it. This is my time. We honor our parents. We honor our ancestors and forefathers. They done their time. This is our time. What are we going to do? Some of us, we get angry at mother and father and the ancestors. Oh, they should have done this and should have. Well, now it's your time. What are you going to do any different than them? We should learn from the faults of our parents so that we can be better. And then our children learn from our faults and our mistakes so they can be better. And we keep progressing and until we get to the point where we can almost say, damn, we almost perfect. There's no such thing as perfection. But we can almost say, and people can look at you like, man, they almost perfect. They perfect type people. Get to the point where we can learn how to master our anger, master our sexual desire, master our depression, our sadness.
Yeah.
Become a master of the body. Right now, we allow our penis and vagina and our emotion to control us. And these things interrupt proper thinking. When you get angry and upset, it destroys proper thinking, proper thinking process. There are people, because of emotion, they actually killed their mother who they love. But because of emotion, they got caught up, not thinking properly, killed their mother or other loved one. What did I do? And that haunt them the rest of their life. It was a mistake. I killed the person I love. And then a lot of times it was something silly, something dumb. My mama wouldn't give me $2. But at the same time, I was a crack fiend. I needed that $2. I needed to get my fix. My mama was tripping. So we here have decided to take on the responsibility because our people, we deserve better. You deserve, and I deserve, to see things in a different light. We deserve to see the alternative. And there are those who don't want for people to see the alternative. And these alternatives that we're talking about is nothing but a slave plantation. That's what they are. You go there and we are somebody's slave. You went from the white man being the slave master to black people being a slave master, or Arabs or whoever. It's a slave master because because none of this is self-discovery. All of it is coming from somebody, like we dumb herd animals.
Yeah.
It's coming from Jewish people. It's coming from the Arabs. It's coming from Chinese folks, whatever. Like, damn, are we dumb herd animals? We don't have the ability to think and bring. If we want God, and if God is real, how come we can't just say, look, God, bring us our own holy book as Black Americans. Bring us our own prophet as Black Americans. Because I'm not an Arab. I'm not Greek. I'm not a Hebrew. I'm not whatever Jesus is supposed to be. You giving me stories and bringing me stuff from people that's been dead or whatever, or didn't exist 1,400, 2,000 years ago. We don't have nothing to do with those people. If you believe in God. But God is not going to answer because God don't exist like that. The only God that you need to depend on is yourself. We are the God. I don't even like using that word God, really. But of course, it's part of our vernacular. So people, you say God, but they have a fictional view of God, and their gods cannot live up to these expectations. God is all powerful. Well, show me an example of your God in this power. We have yet to see it. We hear about it in the Bible, and God demonstrated in the Bible and the Quran, but in real time, where is it? Where is your virgin babies being born in 2022? Where is your God telling Joe Biden, let my people go? Why is it not happening in 2022? It's not happening now. It didn't happen then. And if it did, that's those foreign people's business. It has nothing to do with us. We're gonna get a curse for something some foreigners did. Our people didn't have nothing to do with those things at all. We've been here almost 500 years in America. We've never been on foreign soil. We never lived on a Native American reservation, even though we might have some relatives that's Cherokee or Sioux or Dakota or whatever. But we don't know nothing about that experience. We don't know nothing about the Native American experience because that's not who we are. That's part of us somewhere in our bloodline, but that's not us. We are a brand new people because we are the ones that's opening the door to the new world, to the new heaven, to the new earth. But you can't enter, we cannot enter being the same old, because the former things shall pass away. And so we stuck here. And you belong here. And you don't need to go no damn where. You want to think old? Stay here. And here is filthy. Here is violent. Here is nasty. Here is slander. Here is rape. Here is murder. And the list goes on and on. And that's what we are. We're filthy, nasty, profane, rapists, liars, cheaters. And we belong right here with everybody else. Shouldn't go nowhere else. And you wonder why you stay stuck. The only way we're going to move as a people, you don't have to believe in God to be righteous. In order to move forward, we have to become a righteous people. And you don't have to believe in no God or religion in order to be a righteous person to want for somebody what you want for yourself.
Right.
I don't have to believe in the Bible to know that I should not mess with your wife. That's between you and your wife. I know better not to go and try to interfere with the relationship you have with your wife. I don't need a Bible or Quran to tell me that. That's wrong. You should know that. I should know if I come to your house, like, wow, Brother Bonnie sure got a lot of expensive stuff here. I'm gonna call my boy, we're gonna rob his house. I don't need no Bible, Quran to tell me that's wrong. We've become too materialistic. The most valuable something in life is life. And for us, the most valuable of life for us is us. You are more valuable to me than all the gold in the world. When I'm laying in the hospital, if I got all the gold in the world, none of that gold gonna come and see me in the hospital. But Brother Bonnie can. Brother Bonnie can bring me flowers. bring me something to comfort me, it's going to be all right, brother. Hold on. That gold going to be sitting around wherever. And when all of us dead and gone, it's still going to be here. It's part of this planet. It's not alive. It's not, it don't die, you know, whatever. It's still going to be here. You fussing and fighting on something that's dead. You are more important. All the people that come and listen to this broadcast is more important to me than anything of material gain. It means nothing to me. And we keep it real here. We keep it real here. I don't have to come here in a suit. I'm not trying to put on something. If you knew me, I'm not in a suit all the damn time. You're gonna see me in my pajamas. You're gonna see me when I don't shave for 2 weeks, you know, or whatever. I keeps it real here. I come here in pajamas. I come here, ain't shaved in 2 weeks. Because we gonna keep it real here. Because that's life. That's how we are, for real.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to put on some kind of show for you. And I tell people how I messed up, because I have not been perfect all my life. I tried to do the right thing, but I've done some silly, dumb stuff in my life. Especially being influenced by religion. I've done some crazy stuff. I go back and think about some of the wacky stuff I've done. I'm like, oh, I shouldn't even be alive. But maybe it's nothing spooky. Maybe I had to go through this for us. For us, because we need this. We need to be better. And this message is for us. If anybody going to go to heaven, and if there's a heaven, we should be the first ones to go through that door. All the hell we've caught. Because we was born in hell. There's never been a heaven for the so-called Negro in America. We was born in hell. So why shouldn't we be the first ones to walk into heaven, since we was born in hell? This is all we know. We are a product of hell. So out of all the people on the planet, and I understand that there has been great suffering from people all over the earth. And this is not no suffering competition. But you was not born in hell like us. In a country, on a slave plantation, that's our beginnings. Born in hell. And then when we thought we was free, a nation that made laws against us. Nobody in this country. Laws was made against us. Now, to my knowledge, the Chinese, you know, some of these other people, they had things against them too. But I'm talking about on a federal level, where the federal government imposed these things. The federal government gave the South the A-OK to do what they did to us in the South. Go ahead. We don't want to try to risk another civil war. Go do with them niggers whatever you want to. That's what happened to us for over 100 years. And it's still us. When you talk about police brutality and folks shot down the street, it's still us. Black men and women and children. Still us. And you don't want to remove yourself from out of this madness? You don't want to compromise your beliefs to get out of this once and for all? You don't want to respect another brother who is thinking in a manner that can solve the situation so we can get out of here because you don't like angels? I'm not asking you. There's two parts here. We have the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry, where we talk about religion and other different things, trying to heal ourselves as individuals. But we also offer Operation Exodus Mississippi, which has nothing to do with no religion, ideology. It's politics. Just trying to put yourself in a position so that you can gain power to benefit yourself, ourselves, something that we should have had a long time ago, being citizens of this nation. That's all that is. A political movement to help us, regardless to where you are, whether you are Democrat or Republican, or you gay or transgender, or whatever you find yourself in life. I don't trip. That's your life. I don't trip off of that. Because when they kill us in the street, they don't ask us, are you a Republican? Are you a Democrat? Are you a Muslim? They don't ask us. They see a Negro, and you're going to be treated how they treat Negroes in this country. And then we talk about the Africans. Sometimes Africans get caught up, but they don't target Africans. That's because there is a difference. They know the difference between Africans and Black American people. And we don't even have to open up our mouth. They know. They know their product.
Right. Right.
But the responsibility falls on us. We have to break the chain. We have to challenge these things. I don't expect to get a lot of action from the old geezers because they want to be successful. They're a bunch of losers that want to try to win through younger people, even though what they've done and what they have been doing for the last 50 years has caused nothing, has caused us not to progress. So I'm here as your elder. I'm not trying to sell no narrative. I'm bringing something to you in your 30s, going into your 40s, late 20s, younger people. Stop listening to these old geezers. You should look at their track record. Don't get angry at Angel Snuffing Up 7. Look at their track record for the last 50 years. I don't have to say nothing. Their track record speaks for itself. You want to keep doing that? That's your problem. You want to be a winner? Get on the soul train, a new strategy, a new mindset, a new vision, a new you. And you can win. We can win once and for all. Can't be tripping on them. You have to start all over again in your mind like I did. I decided I have to push all the things that I was taught, have to push it aside, start all over from scratch, and then analyze it, start bringing it back and analyze it little by little. That's bull crap. Okay, I keep that. Damn, that was stupid. Okay, I keep that. That's the way you have to do in your mind. Because if you listen to me, I still sound like a Muslim. I still talk church. I still talk Pan-African and pro-Black. But there's a lot of things that we don't need no more so that we can move on. Those things are rigid in the mind. They no longer apply. And we have to keep moving forward. Those things are no longer applicable. Those things was applicable at a period of time where we had nothing. So we began to mature and advance. But with new knowledge comes new understanding. When you go to trial, a jury can only embrace the evidence that you give them. If you give them evidence, or let's say you don't give them certain evidence, it causes the wrong conclusion, or it affects their decision making. Because if they knew that, they might not have said, well, he's guilty. But the reason why they said they're guilty because they was denied certain evidence. So here we are. Since 1920s, we've been given evidence, and that was good according to our understanding at that time. This is 2022. This is the age of information. This is the age of knowing. And so those things no longer apply because the new information is telling us, is bringing us and giving us a new conclusion. But there are those, just like in court cases, they don't want to accept the decision of the jury. That's a personal problem. But here, the only thing we want to do is let you know, and I'm not mad at you. You want to keep doing what you're doing, which is nothing, because for the last 50 years, you've done nothing. That's your business. But if you want to be a winner, you need to drop that chicken dinner and get on the soul train. Because we moving it on. We got everything here. It's quite clear. We got everything that we need here. And when people understand that, they come here, find your place, and make it stronger. Make it better. Your critique don't make us weaker. Your critique make us stronger because, I didn't think about that. I'm glad you brought that up. Now we move forward. And that's how it should be. We can win. The Mississippi campaign is not about Angel Snub No. 7. It is founded upon our ancestors after the Civil War. The only thing I've done was bring that activity, that behavior, to modern times. It had nothing to do with black power and pro-blackness or whatever. It had a lot to do with survival. After the Civil War, there was no black power. The majority of our people was Christians. There's no doubt about that. That's all we knew was Christianity. And they did not trip off their religion. They were trying to survive. And that's all they were doing. We got to survive. That our people were set loose from these plantations. They're supposed to be free. As you know, the government didn't give our people a damn thing to help them. So they had to learn how to survive. And there's a sister that was on a channel that explained a lot of this. What's her name? Nature Mom. She was talking about this, and I recorded her explanation, how she described the process and what our people was doing after the Civil War. And they were making it. They was progressing. What stopped them was those races in the South. That's what stopped them. And they were not screaming, Black Power family, hotel. What's up, brother? They were just trying to survive. Trying to using their skills to survive. And they understood, we all we got. I'm very sure they had disagreements, but they also understood you ain't gonna get no help from these crackers here in the South. We all we got. We're gonna have to learn how to do this together. But see, we are so comfortable now. You don't need Angel Snub No. 7. You don't need William Bonney. Because Massa gave you a whole lot of biscuits. So you don't need Angel Snub No. 7. But that's not the attitude of our people after the Civil War. They understood they need each other. And they were successful working and building with each other. A government stopped them. Here we were slaves for hundreds of years, coming off the plantation, doing better than the Peckerwoods that ain't never been slaves. They didn't like that. How can these niggers, they've been slaves, we've been oppressing them for 300 years, you set them loose and they doing better than a white man. They weren't going to tolerate that. They're not going to tolerate it now, but you don't have no damn choice. Your time is over. And if their time is over, then we need to prove it to them that it's over. It's our time. They can't stop us no more. Their time is over. It's a whole different ball game now. Our ancestors suffered. They sacrificed and they died so we can be stronger so we can be smarter and wiser in 2022. But we're not expressing that because these things that we've been holding to from the past is not allowing us, our minds, to be flexible in order to deal with our situation once and for all.
Exactly. Yep.
Once and for all. It needs to come to an end. And that's what we're doing here, once and for all. It's over. So, for me, I don't know about anybody else, and I can't talk about anybody else. For me, I have a responsibility because I do know better. I have a responsibility because I feel as though I went through what I went through for this time. I feel as though I am our prophet, modern day prophet. I have been made for us for this time. For us. So us can do this job because it's not about me. That's why I always tell people, I'm not your savior. I'm just bringing us a message to show us how we can get this done. But I'm not a savior and a messiah. Because nobody came to me and said, hey, Snuff 07, will you save me? Will you be my messiah? Nobody asked me to be a damn thing. And even if you did, I might accept and I might not accept. But if it happened, then I am responsible. And if I can't get the job done, I've told you something and made you promises, and I cannot pull that off, then I say to you, well, brothers and sisters, it's not going the way that I thought. Maybe we need to try things the William Bonney way. Let us, because I can't get this done. I've been trying it. I don't want to waste our resources. Let us try it the William Bonney way. I have no problem with that. But we don't do that. We keep trying to put the square peg in the round hole. And we're jealous of other brothers and sisters. I let people come here and say what they need to say. People are not going to want me to come on their platforms and speak to their audience or whatever, because I'm going to make them look bad. Because I represent the new. I represent common sense and logic. And your brain, even though it's filled up with all this stuff, clogged up with this stuff, you're going to recognize real. Yeah, it makes sense. There's a lot of people, they understand what Angel Snuff 7 said, but they are loyal to the past. What about John Henry Clark? What about Dr. Ben? What about Egypt? What about it? They did their time. This is your time. When we open up our brains, Brother William, our brains will give us what we need to solve our problem, no matter what it is, even in your own personal life. I know when I was driving a truck going up and down the road, I depended on my common sense and my brain power to solve certain issues. In the Nation of Islam, they teach we have to be fast moving, quick thinking, right down to the modern time. I want to talk to y'all in the Nation of Islam real quick. You're supposed to be fast moving, quick thinking, right down to the modern times. How are you accomplishing this great feat when you still think the same way they did in 1930, 1940, 1950, 1960? That's not the modern times. You have to be fast moving, quick thinking right now, and you're not. Because if you was truly doing that, you wouldn't be listening and putting all your faith, all your marbles in one bowl, as they say, with Louis Farrakhan, who is of the past. who is keeping you 1,400 years ago, 1960, 1930. That's not the modern times. We are here in the modern time, and I am here for the Black American. I have empathy and compassion for all human suffering and injustice, but we need to think about ourselves. How can we help anybody if we have not helped ourselves? How can we help Africa if we cannot help ourselves? What can you do for Africa and you don't have nothing to offer? It makes no sense. And Africa is not giving us nothing. There's no African nation that I know of is offering us nothing. They're not even treating their own people right. Their own people so scared and so fearful and suffering, they have decided to leave the entire continent. Not just go from Liberia to Ghana or Somalia to the Congo. No, I'm getting out of the whole continent. That's bad. Because I know a lot of us here, we don't leave America. A lot of us, damn, I'm not doing good in Massachusetts. I'm going to move from Massachusetts to Georgia. I'm going to move from Georgia to California. But we don't leave North America. These people leave their continent. We're like, wow. And then the Pan-Africans, these other people, want us to go where they left, I guess so that we can suffer and be oppressed. I mean, as individuals, we can go to some of these countries in small numbers, and we might be able to do pretty well. But ain't no millions of us going to go to no Africa, and it's not going to turn out pretty, because we don't speak their language and we don't understand their culture. You go over there screwing around. You can't do in those African countries what you do in America. They're going to shut you down real quick. Believe me, brothers and sisters that left America, they living in all these foreign countries, believe me, they are tiptoeing. They being really, really good, because they got something for your happy ass if you want to screw around with them. So I suggest for us to be real with ourselves and just say, hey, it hurts me to know that I was taught wrong, but see, there's nothing that you can do about it. We was born into this. But now we know. So now we're going to have to take the appropriate action because we do know. And I accept the challenge. As old as I am, I don't have to do a damn thing. I don't have to say nothing to nobody. I could be just like some other folks. Oh, well, that's them young people. If they make it, they make it. They don't, they don't. I cannot do that because there were people who stood up for me when I couldn't stand up for myself. Sojourner Truth, Sister Fannie Lou Hamer, Harriet Tubman, of course, Dr. King and Malcolm, and the list goes on and on. They stood up for us. I don't feel right. Now I'm in their position. It's my turn to stand. It's my turn to fight. Because somebody fought for me. All our people living the good life and doing nothing for the struggle, they should be shaming themselves. They should be shaming themselves. Because if it wasn't for our ancestors sacrificing and dying and going through hell, they wouldn't be able to have $1 million basketball contract. And we have to understand these things, we are allowed to have these things so that we can be docile. So that we don't realize and think about the hell this country have gave us. Look at Beyonce. Look at Beyonce and Jay-Z. Look at Will Smith and Jada. Look at the fancy cars, and that's what we strive for, things. What about respect? What about real freedom? Now, they give us all these things, but they're not putting you in a position so that you can make laws that they have to obey. They're not putting you in that kind of position. They're not giving you that. They give you toys, Jordan shoes, Xbox. They give you Jesus. And you put on your suit, grab a bean pie. All praises due to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Put on a show. That's why they bother us, even though we are 10 subscribers and 10 views, because it's not a show. I have not lived and went through all the hell that I went through to bring a show. We need to end this now. This is the generation that needs to stop this bull crap once and for all, so our people can go on to do better things.
I agree.
Do you understand how great we could be? Well, first of all, we've been great. Well, we was great on a slave plantation. There were our people. Some of us was free slaves or whatever, free people. We created inventions. We did certain things that the Peckerwood stole from us. We know this. We was great even in chains. We was great, and we became even greater once they set us loose, called free. So can you imagine how incredible we're going to be when we get this oppressor off our back once and for all? And we can freely think, we can freely move and express ourselves in all the disciplines of life. Oh, wow. I might not be able to live to see it, but I can see it. I can see it. And that's why we should, especially those my age, you've lived your life. You've seen your children grow up. You got grandchildren. You've lived your life. So why not sacrifice the rest of your life so your children and your great-grandchildren and great-grandchildren, so they can live better than us and don't have to be bothered with all this bull doo-doo that we have been dealing with for 400 years. Selfish ass people. The only reason why you're able to do what you're doing is because somebody sacrificed and died so that you can live better. Selfish ass folks. And see, it doesn't make any difference whether they embrace Angel Snuffing Up 7 or not. I'm the voice to be the man in the mirror. So while they screwing around, I'm the man in the mirror. You got to look at this. This is the reality of it. Because a mirror shows you in real time.
Mm. Right.
And Michael Jackson talked about the man in the mirror. And he said, it's time to make a change. And that's what it's time for. It's time for a change. You're not going to go nowhere until you change. We belong right here where we at. Because we're foul. Liars, and slanderers, adulterers, all these things that we talk about, we are those things. And that's what America is built upon. Violence, profanity, evil, death and destruction. And we belong right here because that's what we are. I don't know why we get shocked. Oh, there was a murder. They killed 19 children over there. They killed all them dogs over there. This is America.
Mm.
It's violent.
Right.
You expecting something good coming out of a toilet bowl. What do we do in a toilet bowl? And that's all America is. And matter of fact, we even say it. Man, you full of shit.
Right.
So I say, for me, I can't speak for nobody else. I say, because I get high. I get high from bringing us this truth. I get high off of it. I love it. I love the fact, I know that you need to get with me because you can't do nothing with me. You need to get with this. I'm going to debate Angel Snuffing Up. So that's a waste of my time. You can't do nothing with me. You were part of the past. I represent the new. We are visionaries here. We are creators here. We don't eat leftovers here. Somebody asked me, where you getting your speaking points from? From me. From the same brain that Jesus had, the same brain that Muhammad had, same brain that Noah had. I got a brain too.
Amazing.
And this is our time. It's our time. Once we begin to unclog this stuff, get all this stuff that's clogging up our pipes in our brain, you begin to see, and many see exactly what I see. These things are clogging we can't see properly. Like I said on the last live stream, there was a song. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. When the rain starts coming down, you turn on your windshield wipers so you can see clearly. All these things we've been taught is like rain. Now we turn on our windshield wipers. I can see clearly now. That's why they don't understand, because they in the rain won't turn on their windshield wipers. We are the Savior. See, I don't have to talk all that thing. I'm going to let you know what I am just by what I do. I don't have to tell you the black man is God. I don't have to tell you a black man is a warrior. I don't have to tell you those things. My actions going to show you what I am. I don't have to talk about a Savior and a Messiah. We're going to just show you what I am. And you're going to figure it out all by yourself. Wow. I think that's the Messiah. I'm not going to say nothing. Let you figure it out.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, nobody is special. We just want to be left the hell alone and live life. That's all. What's wrong with that? Leave me alone. I know when I was locked up, they kept bothering me. Just leave me alone. I want to get out of here. That's all I want. And I'm going to hate those who are trying to stop me from getting out of this incarceration. Yeah, I hate your ass. No, yes, I don't like you. I don't like nobody that's going to stop me from trying to do better, from getting up out of oppression. If it so happen to be white people, then I will call them on their crap. You crackers need to get the hell out the way. If it's Negroes, I call you out. Get the hell out the way. The masses of the people, when they begin to hear this message, I guarantee you they're going to gravitate toward us. Because I'm not trying to convert you to nothing. I just want us to be who we are and be better and progress and be who we are. Stop trying to put on these costumes. You can put a tuxedo on a pig and the pig is still not a human being. The pig is still a pig. You can dress up in a Hebrew Israelite uniform or a Muslim uniform and all these costumes, a Batman and Robin uniform. You can do that. When it's all said and done, you're still a so-called Negro in America. And anybody that talk to you will see that. No matter what costume you put on, that's not you. Just be yourself. Be proud of what we create, who we are. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with me, us being who we are? Trying to be other people we never be. We ain't never lived in no damn Africa. We never lived in no teepees. We don't know about no Native American culture. That's good for certain individuals and a small population, but us, the masses of us, we don't, that's not us. Just be who we are. Embrace our culture, what we developed during our 400-year sojourn in America. That ain't nothing to sneeze at. People all over the world trying to be like us. Then you don't turn around and try to be like them. They trying to be like you. And the thing about it is, when we try to be like these other people, we begin to lose ourselves. We start losing our swag. That thing they call soul that make us who we are. We got a little taste still left, but we losing it because we're trying to be other people. And for me, that's not acceptable because I don't want to be them. I respect other cultures. In fact, it's a beautiful world to have different people around the earth so that you can go on vacation and you can see other cultures, other traditions. That's a wonderful thing. You got a group of people, you want everybody on the earth to be like you. How boring it would be. Somebody told me I need to meet a wife that's just like me. I don't want a wife like me. How boring that would be to have somebody exactly like you. That would be boring situation. You want somebody to be different. Life is different. We come from the same parents, but all the children are different. Even twins are different. Twins physically might look the same, but you're different. That's life. Life is variety. We got a group of people, sick people on the earth that want everybody to be like them. That's a sickness. Life is variety. When you look at biology, life evolved from cloning a long billions of years, trillions of years ago, whatever. Life stopped cloning and began diversity. We represent diversity. We represent life. That's what I want to be. So if there's something else you want to entertain. Actually, brother, while you're here, I would like for you to talk about, what you was talking to me about and explain that, because this audience, they can't comprehend that. If you would like to explain and talk about
I know what you mean. I know what you want me to talk about. Right. Well, all right. Well, besides the truth about me finding Angel Snubbed Up 7, as far as, search of Farrakhan, I also located Angel Snubbed Up 7 through another side of things. I always study religion. I would like to say I'm like a scholar in a sense. Like I know Islam. I know the Christian book. I know other things. I know all the prophecies and the hidden secrets that are expressed in these books. For me, what separated me is something called the 47.
Mm-hmm.
The 47 it's almost like a satellite or a locator or a beacon within humanity or the world that I live in, called Earth. For us, through our revelation of the 47, it allows us to be on time. Anytime the 47 appears on an individual or within the surroundings of an individual, when I show up, that means I'm on time. And that means that individual that the 47 is implanted on is also on time. So this is how I found Angel Snubbed Up 7. And let's take it just a little bit further. There's a prophecy in the book of Malachi, the Elijah prophecy. It's Malachi chapter 4, verse 5 and 6, which states, "Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the great and terrible day of the Lord, or I will smite the earth with a curse." It's basically stating that there will be an Elijah type minister that will come before the end of time or the end of the human life that we live. And he will present a message that will free a people from mental bondage, religious bondage, earthly bondage, financial bondage, just a natural identity as a human being type of bond. If you don't even have that, this one will come with a message that will give you all of these things. And when my brother was leaving, or as I like to say, leaving, we knew we was on time for something because this 47 has been implanted on us, but we knew something was kind of off because my brother was dying. You know, we always thought that this 47 will guide us to safety on time. So that's what kind of led me in my anger towards God. But I'm gonna tell you about the funny thing, even though I'm saying God, but just hear me out. The funny thing about what I would call God is, through this anger that I've been feeling, it led me to the one I was looking for a long time before I became depressed. I was looking for this Elijah figure before anything went bad in my life with me and my brother. I'm talking about when everything was flying high. I still was looking for this Elijah type figure, but I wasn't ready to find him because the circumstances in my life didn't allow me to find him. So I was always delayed in finding him. I had to suffer something that I didn't think was possible, which would be my brother losing his life. And through that process, I went through a different door. And going through this different door, I found Angel Snuff Nut 7. And through his teachings, or through his, I don't want to say teachings, but through his college courses that he drops daily, on how to open your mind and free yourself from this thing called religion, I knew I found the one that would be the Elijah type figure that would free us and lead us into a new place, basically a new heaven and a new earth that's rooted in reality, nothing outside of our mind, nothing outside of what we can conceive in reality and touch. But his message would have to be completely different. He would have to use wordings that would unlock the brain and unlock the locks inside the mind, you know. And when he uses terms as sheep herders, or stating that we don't know anyone from Mecca. Though I'm telling you, I studied for many years, came across many imams, monks, um, all types of preachers. I never heard no one use this type of language, or I would say parables, you know, to kind of like free your mind and to make you think. It just cause you to think, and then make you say, you know what, I don't know no one overseas. I don't know no one in the book. I don't know Peter, Luke, or John. No disrespect to anyone, but I immersed myself so deeply into acting like I knew these people. Um, it kind of like took years off my life that I wish I could get back, as far as like living as a natural human being.
Yes,
But
sir.
this Elijah figure in Malachi 4, 5, and 6, it speaks about a third Elijah. Most scholars only located the two Elijahs, which would be John the Baptist and the original Elijah that was with Elias, when the will within the will, when he left on that will. That's in, you know, if you know your scriptures, the original Elijah. But no one ever knew that there was another Elijah to come within the great and terrible day of the Lord, or before Jesus returns. You know, I'm gonna have to use these points, or before Jesus returns. I knew that there was going to be a third Elijah, as well as my brother, and as well as a lot of other people that's within this knowledge of things that we call the 4-7 or the 47. We know that there's one to come, and that he has to come within this body of time, that he has to come after the blood moons, after all these type of prophecies, after the black president Obama, after Trump, after, you know, all these great scholars passed away. But he has to come in within the line of time that the false prophet will be alive. And I would like to say this. I know it's going to be hard, to hear. I believe that the false prophet within the black community is Louis Farrakhan. He is the stop sign to black progress. And he has been the stop sign of black progress for over 60 years. Legitly the stop sign. That's why they use the term litmus test, or once you get to a certain position, they hit you with the Farrakhan question.
Mm-hmm.
It's done on purpose. That's his goal, that's his mission, that's his secret mission that he's on. Let me state that again. He knows he's the stop sign to black progress. So whatever they do behind closed doors within masonry, or whatever they do, and whatever they agree to do, they stick to it. And I must admit, that brother has stuck to his, his agreement. But he has been the stop sign, and he is the false witness. That's why he is calling himself Jesus Christ. That's why he's telling his prophets that he's the one to return, and build a new heaven and new earth. He's taking on the role of Jesus Christ, and he's going to play this out until the end of his days. But he's going to do something very terrible and very drastic before he leaves. That's why I believe Angel Snuff 7 is on time, even for within my world and within the nation of Islam. For anyone that's able to listen and hear this brother that's within the nation, I pray that you take this warning that's on time. He gave you the warning for the women with the message that he gave to the minister's wife. I can't think of the name of that. But that is a warning also to the women to free yourself, to let this thing go. Visit Islam. What more do you guys need? To get ready. It's all within this time period. That's why, even though I might be mad with what I call God, I'm sort of not mad, because I understand some things. God had to technically abandon us with our mindset that we've been up under. He couldn't perform those type of miracles that we've been putting on him. He couldn't come in the way that we wanted to. So you know what he had to do? Walk away. I have to leave. I'm gonna just put it in that type of manner. I have to leave. But what I will do, since I do love you, I will send you one that will come, that will wake you up on time, that will be able to break down your thought processes that you have been up under within these religious cults or religious type of doctrine. And he will explain it in a certain type of way and in a certain type of manner that once you hear it, you legitimately cannot deny what you have heard. And that is the opportunity for you to move forward and live a proper life. And I thank God that I feel I found the one, but I found him in a way that we became friends. I say Angel Snuff 7. When I found him, he was on time for me in my life, because, like I said, I was supposed to have fell mentally. Mind you, I always put God first, and I'm a big advocate for the return of God and all this. And when my brother was passing away, people were looking at me like, yo, you are a fool, you and your brother, for believing in this type of stuff, and your brother is suffering. And once my brother left, I was unable to preach God to any of my nephews, cousins, dad, mother, my wife. They didn't really technically want to hear it anymore, and I couldn't really blame them, because my back was up against the wall, because I didn't have no miracles. I didn't. Jehovah didn't, show his face, in a sense. I'm not going to say I don't want to completely disrespect, my brother's departure, but the reality is my brother suffered, and there wasn't no saving. So, me searching and being depressed, man. Angel Snuff 7 came on time, and his teachings or his speeches were like a revival for my spirit and soul and my energy. I was able to, because I'm in transportation as well as he is, so I drive also. I was able to get back on the road and drive and pick people up properly and hold conversations, and without going to a mental wreck, because I'm so distraught that Jehovah didn't come and save my brother. Now I'm alone without my brother. And that was a real burden on me. Like, I'm like looking for Jehovah God, like, where are you? But I thank God that I found this brother who is Angel Snuff Nut 7, who I think is the third Elijah, who I think has been on time and is on time with a message that can save humanity. I think Angel Snuff Nut 7's voice should be focused on Jerusalem. That is the house of all this religion. That is the house where Islam, Christianity, Buddhism, probably all these other type of things come from. And they people go there on vacation to so-called walk the roads that Jesus walked in. You know, go to the Al Mosque and pray and all that. This is the house where all these thought processes and these fairy tale stories and fake confirmations come from. And it's not located nowhere else. And I feel that he's the one that once he puts his voice towards Jerusalem, the Operation Exodus Mississippi campaign itself, which is separate from religion,
yes,
will flourish. Matter of fact, I believe the doors will open up because I think the universe itself will support you, because the universe itself is living with human beings that's up under the mindset of these religious teachings, and it's been dealing with us for a while.
yes.
But everybody gets tired. Earth itself gets tired. The land gets tired. The land has to rotate every so many years so you can grow proper crops. The earth itself needs a break.
Yes.
From this thing that we're suffering, and it doesn't want to kill us. It doesn't want to destroy us, but it will. You know, it's just like when your stomach hurts, you got to go shit it out. It's no different. It's
right.
The earth is hurting. It's going to have to shit you out, unfortunately. And hopefully that doesn't happen. If I feel, I'm only speaking for myself. Hopefully it doesn't happen if Angel Snuff Nut 7's voice projects towards Jerusalem, not specifically towards Jews or anything, but towards the house where these religious doctrines and teachings and storylines come from. You know, and when that happens, I believe everything else will happen. So that's where I stand, you know, with this. Thank you for having me on too, Angel, man. I
Yes,
really
sir.
appreciate it.
Yeah, you did a wonderful job there. I told you once you come on live, it's just like we talking on the telephone.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's no different. And also, when you discovered me, I believe you told me we was going through that drama with all those idiots on YouTube at the time too. You was able to ignore all the drama and just concentrate on, you know, our serious talk that we present.
Right, because like I said, I saw the question, or not really the question, but the statement, God is on trial.
Yeah.
I never in my life heard or saw anything like that. Someone to even say, yo, God, you're on trial. And I was listening at the time, like, man, that is just bold. At the time, that is bold to do, just as a human being, to not be scared to go to sleep and wake up the next day, you know, and not think the Most High is about to drop the world on you because you don't question, you know, his position in the world, and that, you know, he's not showing that he does exist. And you know, that's just, I thought that was brave of you and whoever else was involved with that. So.
Yeah. It's man, what was I going to ask you? Oh, I was going to tell the audience. I posted a video. I forgot what the title is, but I believe it's called "Is Angel Snuff Nut 7 the Third or Elijah" or something to that effect. Some of you probably watched that video. When the brother brought this to me the first time, of course, from my perspective, I'm always looking for spooky stuff, right? But it's really not spooky. And the way the brother is bringing this to us, it's not spooky. In fact, it's a good tool that we can use, because so many of our brothers and sisters are Christians. They are religious. They read the Bible and they understand the Bible. So for us to get a better understanding of what the brother was explaining here, like he told me, that video is Angel Snubbing Up 7, the third Elijah. There's a young man who is breaking down the Elijah scriptures. And I put the brother sent me the videos, and I just put the videos all in one package. So just correlate what the brother had been saying tonight with that video, and try to keep an open mind, because we're not spooky here. We're not spooky, as you know. We're not spooky here, and not spiritual, and we're not into that madness. But there's an understanding. There's something in what this brother is saying here, and it's amazing how this number 7 keeps popping up. Angel Snubbing Up 7, the 47. But I was told that 7 is the number that represents the beginning of perfection. It's the beginning of a new time and a new door. 7. And while I'm saying that, look at the viewership. It says 7 on the viewership board. It's amazing, ain't it? But brother, I want to thank you so much.
Absolutely.
for coming on, and I would like for you, hopefully, whenever you feel like it, we can always come on here and talk, because our personal discussions really, a lot of it would benefit other people too, even though we're talking on a personal level, as long as it's not, like our personal life, something like that.
Right.
But when we're talking about these type of issues, it would be good if we come here and talk to our family, because we're family here. We're family. A lot of our brothers and sisters in the chat room, they have proven themselves. They are down with this platform. We are family here.
Yeah, I was like this today. I was like, you know what? Let me just hit him up. We gotta go live.
Yeah.
I said, let's just do it right now, man. Because it's a blessing, man, to have you. I tell
Yes,
you,
sir.
man. Like I said, I'm 37, and when even with your other videos, when you like, you guys that's in the 30s, it's your time, and you apologize for the older ones. And matter of fact, you, like I told you, you're the same age as my dad and mom. They like 2 years older than you. So, but other than that, I'm grateful, man, because I'm like, wow, to find someone on time at this particular time period. We're talking about 2022 going into 2023. Mind you, the world then was supposed to be over, considering, all those that think that way. Down from the Jehovah's Witnesses supposed to have ended in the 70s, and then the year 2000 came, it was supposed to have went then. And then 2012 came, it was supposed to have went then. It was just a lot of that. So we was always prepping for it to be the end of Earth, But I think we didn't understand everything properly, I thank God for extending my time, my wife's time, my family's time, even my brother. I believe my brother's on time, even though he's asleep or he had to leave in that type of way. I believe he's on time for that.
Yes.
And who knows what the future holds, man. I believe something special will happen to this planet Earth. Once you do handle this mission, I believe you are the one. I'm bold enough to say it. I don't care if it's embarrassing or what. I believe you, even though, the scriptures are hard to accept at this point in time. I do believe that prophecy is real. I do believe that you are the third Elijah, from what me and my people have studied for years before I even revealed this to you. Because like I said, we thought it was someone else, but it wasn't. We located the one who it is. But I just want to go back on that just a little bit. This Elijah one, he has to come out of the teachings of Elijah Muhammad. He just has to. Elijah Muhammad knew about the prophecy. Matter of fact, all those that came knew about this third Elijah prophecy, and they all came at the same time to try to fulfill this third Elijah prophecy. Unfortunately, they just wasn't the one. But Elijah Muhammad, I say this, Angel Snub 7 will be the justifier for Elijah Muhammad. Matter of fact, if there is a resurrection, if Angel Snub 7 finished this work, Elijah Muhammad's work will not be in vain. What Clara Muhammad suffered through as just a woman being dirted on will not be in vain.
Yes.
Because Elijah Muhammad was on to something. He just wasn't the one, but he was on to something. And I'm going to just say this. God's mercy was so much on him. He allowed one to come out of Elijah Muhammad named Angel Snub 7 to come up out of that and to be on time for us leading into the future, 2023. And we don't even know how long Earth technically really has if this prophecy is true. If this thing is true, we might not have, so much into the future as we might think we do. Because living with the mindset of false religion will not allow our human body to survive. And I'm starting to think that's why we passed away so early. I think it's because of this religion. I think it's the stress from it, from like you said, from birth. So so they throw it on us as a child. So we're up under this stress and trying to keep up with something that the adults can't even comprehend. So now we're just completely mentally out of here. So once we become legal enough to become on our own 18 and older, we might become gay, we might become transsexual, we might be on drugs because now we can just do what we want, but we're just mentally gone, So I don't think Earth can survive too much longer with that. And I'm talking about outside of the Black community. I'm talking about Roman Catholic, they can't survive it. The Muslims, they definitely can't survive it. Islam, the land has definitely just been bombed for I don't know how long. I don't know how much land is left over there that's fertile. Iran, they can't continue to go on in the manner that they're going on. Russia, they probably won't have too much time because they're talking about nuclear weapons now on the news. So now that might lead us to something else. So I kind of think our backs are up against the wall, and I think that this brother named Angel Snub 7, for those that's willing to accept it and willing to listen, he is our God. He is the one that will lead us. He is the one that Elijah Muhammad said Farrakhan would be. I don't want to go to because I can go there. But everything Elijah Muhammad said about this helper or this third book or this one to come guide the people across, it never was Louis Farrakhan. It was Angel Snub 7, and he qualifies. He comes out of that. He has the historical evidence and pictures to prove that he comes out of that for those that need that going forward. So I just want to leave the people with that. I love everyone, and I thank God for this brother, and I thank God that you have a platform that can, get this word out there right now. So just keep it going.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate it. I thank you, brother, for coming on the program. I much appreciate it. I wanted to tell the people about you, but I'm glad that you came yourself and you could talk and explain. You did a very, very wonderful job explaining to the audience, where you come from. I'm so happy to know you, and also send a shout out to Bruce. Isn't that Bruce Davis, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
And your wife Keisha.
Yes, sir.
I haven't forgotten.
Yes, sir.
I look forward to seeing everybody in person.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you for your kind and wonderful words. We don't know. We're not prophets. We're not messiahs. We're not saviors.
Right.
We're just putting something out there. Like I say, these things are part of us. I can't. I'm gonna die part Christian, part Muslim, that's still me.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to have a different understanding of things now. We cannot continue to think in that rigid manner no more. We're going to have to look at things in a different viewpoint. We're going to have to be flexible in the mind. We cannot be rigid in the mind.
Yeah.
Because this is 2022. This is not 1930. They done what they done. This is our time. And we have to move within our time. You cannot move and try to act in another person's time. We look silly. When we put on clothes from 1930, you know, we look silly because that's not our time. If you put on clothes from 1930, they say, "What you doing? Making a movie or something?" Because that's not our time. That's not our time.
Right.
So with that said, we're gonna bring the brother back whenever he want to come back, and we also invite other persons. You can come here and express yourself and talk, because we don't know it all, and I'm willing to listen to anybody, but I'm going to challenge the old school stuff. That has to be challenged. You're not going to come here with that old stuff from 1930, 1950 and think you're going to get that off. It's not happening here. That's over. This is our time. Our time. So with that said and done, I want to thank everybody for joining us this spontaneous broadcast. Thank you, brother 47.
Yes, sir.
And those who are in the chat room, those who are listening, and those who will be listening to this broadcast later on, I appreciate it. And as our brother Don Cornelius used to always say, as in parting, I wish us love, peace, and sister soul. We are 45,000.